Welcome to Montana Shares, your opportunity to find out about the nonprofits that make our state great. I'm your host, Bill Crane, and today we have Amy and we have Maggie from the Helena Area Community Foundation. We're going to be talking about Greater Helena Gives, as well as other things.
Great, thanks for having us.
You bet. So let's start off a little bit with what Helena Area Community Foundation is before we get into the event itself.
Sure. The Helena Area Community Foundation is an organization that provides financial support as well as mentoring and leadership guidance and support to the area nonprofits throughout the Greater Helena area. So it includes Broadwater County and Jefferson County as well.
Okay. And we were just talking earlier, you're celebrating sort of a birthday, so to speak.
Yes, this year is a landmark for the organization. It's the 25th anniversary of the Helena Area Community Foundation this year. Although the organization has been known by other names in the past, it's pretty much the same governing body, board of directors, and a granting process that's been happening for 15 years this year. Great. So we're very proud of that.
And just to look forward even beyond the event we're really going to talk about today is you do have these grant cycles that happen every year, and you put money out into the community to make the community better. What kind of time frame does that all take place on?
We are revising the granting application at this time. The granting application will begin in mid-May. Okay. So that's coming up, and the application is on our website, and organizations will apply for grants up to $2,000. Then the granting process will have a cutoff date that's not quite set yet, but it would be sometime in June, and then by early July, the reviews have all gone through. Our board is all involved in the process of reviewing and scoring the grant applications, and then in early July, folks are issued their grants. So we usually do about 18 to 20 grants a year, up to $2,000, as I mentioned, and all of that grant money comes from the revenue that's generated by the endowment. That was another bit of good news that we just celebrated last December. The endowment exceeded $1 million,
Excellent.
Which was a substantial benchmark. We are on the way to raising $3 million. A $1 million endowment generates about $35,000 a year in revenues that is all then granted out to the community. So we're hoping to get it over $3 million, and that would put us over $100,000 a year that we would then distribute to the community.
Wonderful. So that's something the nonprofits should be watching out for come May-ish.
And we'll certainly be letting everybody know.
Okay, much sooner than that, we have Greater Helena Gives coming up. And really we're focusing a little bit this time on getting the nonprofits involved. And we'll have you back on later on to get the community involved. Is that a good description?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about getting nonprofits involved with the day.
All right, well, first off, Greater Helena Gives is just a really good opportunity for all the nonprofits to campaign and fundraise and just get in contact with the community. And I'm really excited to be a part of it this year. It's my first year, and I love working with everyone and meeting everyone. What we're really aiming for this year is to just reach out and get a lot of nonprofits that haven't, we also want to get the ones that have participated before, but we want to get ones that haven't ever heard about Greater Helena Gives. We want to give them an opportunity to reach out to the people in the community and just campaign with us. We want them to be successful ultimately. Okay.
And you have a deadline coming up for application?
Yes, we do.
Soon-ish.
Yeah. So April 1st is our official deadline. However, there's always circumstances, and we're willing to work with nonprofits on that, maybe squeeze a couple in there. But yes, the official deadline is April 1st. And we actually have a really fun thing going on, March Madness. So even before the actual giving day starts, we like to have little incentives for people to sign up, just getting them involved and active and really excited for the day to start.
I'm curious about these. What are these incentives?
Oh, these incentives, yes. We have some prizes going on. We're working with like the Myrna Loy, Bert and Ernie's. What else did we do? We did...
Well, we had cash prizes to begin with. We had a few of those, and we had cash incentives early, just to get organizations on board earlier. One of the things that we've learned, this is the 5th annual Greater Helena Gives, again, a 24-hour giving day. May 2nd through 3rd. I don't know that we mentioned that. But we've both of us are new to this organization, so we went back and spoke to participating organizations from the previous years and learned some things. And one of the things that we noticed was that organizations that signed up early were more successful in their campaigns. They knew about it, was on their radar, of course. Sadly, nonprofits have very small staffs. If sometimes they have no staff, there are plenty of organizations that participate that are just board driven. So what we need to do is make sure that we back the process up so that they have plenty of time to learn and plenty of time to be aware and get their Facebook post scheduled and get it on their radar early. And that way they can have a successful giving day. So that's one of the things we did is we backed up the process, and we actually had, for the first time ever, a kickoff event on February 5th at the Myrna Loy, invited all the participating organizations to attend. And it was a great way to get it on everyone's radar very early. Then, of course, we've been just throughout the process, every 2 or 3 weeks, there's a deadline and it has some kind of fun incentive. We had a grand reveal of, organizations that were signed on were the first ones I could see the prizes. And the prizes, of course, are just additional cash incentives that organizations can kind of compete for on the day of giving and earn. Things like most donations in an hour, donor from the longest distance away, the donor at 406.
Which I've tried for several years, and I've never
that
won
one's
that
a hard one
one.
to do.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's exactly what we're talking about, that, the competition, in the sense of fun that happens on the day of giving. So we've had several different prizes, and now we are going to have our deadline on April 1st. In the past, it's been as late as like April 20th for the giving day coming up in early May. So that's not enough time for an organization to really make an impact on their social media platform and get donors interested and engaged in enough time that they're mindful of it and make a contribution on the giving day.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun, and Amy's done a great job of calling everyone personally and making sure that they have everything that they need, and she's making personal calls and getting out there working in the community. And that really feels to me like a more fulfillment of the mission of the Community Foundation, to really not just offer this platform for organizations to participate in, but to actually get out there and proactively seek questions and make sure that they're getting the guidance they need. A lot of organizations, we're finding out, don't really know how to manipulate and use Facebook to their benefit. They don't know how to schedule posts.
That's a big one. I always stress that if I got hit by a bus, that the day would still continue without me, because I make sure ahead of time and post a dozen posts that will take place automatically.
Oh, right. And then it's a better use of your time as well. I know, as we're managers of a nonprofit, I know all these organizations, time is critical to them. So it's a much better use of your time if you gather all your information together and you have a few videos or photographs you can use, and you just spend an hour on Facebook building all your posts, and they just magically roll out, and
You bet.
and it just happens, and then your constituency is aware of what's going on for you.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun, and we're talking with GiveGab, the platform folks. That's the platform that manages the whole giving day for us. As far as
They're wonderful.
yeah, they've been very helpful and very proactive as well, and they're learning too. So we say things to them like, well, we'd really like to have a photo gallery on the Greater Helena Gives website, greaterhelenagives.org, a photo gallery so that nonprofits that are participating don't have to create their own content. They can just go on there and grab some photos or grab a little bit of video of, here's the snow melting in Helena, spring is coming, or we put some photos up of the town with a lot of snow on that. Just some visual content, so they didn't need to even do that. They could just go on and grab it and put it up there. We've also been building Facebook posts that they can just pick up and drop onto, just change hashtags and make it their own.
Good. And so you already have somewhere around mid-60 groups signed up
Yes.
already? Shooting for how many?
Shooting for around 80. We would want as many as we can,
Right.
but it's also really cool because when you have a certain amount, you're able to keep this one-on-one connection and work with them and make sure that they have everything that they need. I'm able to go kind of make house calls and help people set up their profiles. I'm on the phone talking with them, making sure they have what they need. Also, as you said, the GiveGab people, the website we're using, they're just incredible. They're so kind and prompt and helpful. But yeah, we're just really able to work with nonprofits on a personal level, and I think that is a big mission of HACF. And so I'm excited to be a part of that and make sure that we're doing our job.
Good. I think what I love about the 24 Hours of Giving, and I kind of see it from a broader view because we have groups all around the state. So Missoula Gives and Bozeman and all these other ones I watch all those ones as well. But it's this opportunity to shine a spotlight on nonprofits. But we also are looking at the donor and saying we're making this super easy for you to support as many groups as you want. I love the sort of the shopping cart and checkout aspect of supporting nonprofits. It isn't like you have to go to 5 different checkouts. You can check out once and support as many different groups of the 60 to 80 that we get signed up, right?
Yes, it's wonderful. And on the website, there's a link to all the nonprofits' individual websites. You know, if the donors want to learn more, they have their mission statement on there. They have their own profiles that they build. So if donors are on there and they find someone that they really connect with, they can easily contact them and reach out so that they can find more. But it's just, yeah, you're right. It's just a really great way to get the community in contact with the nonprofits. And I mean, Helena is just known for having an amazing nonprofit community. I mean, we have so many and so many great ones.
Right.
So it's wonderful.
And as you mentioned, the checkout idea, it's very interesting. In the process, we've discovered so many organizations that don't have any kind of online giving platform. They just don't have that. There's costs to that. You have to have a website. So many of participating organizations couldn't even take advantage of that checkout without the Giving Day.
Right.
Yes.
So that's why it's very important that they get on board with their social media support early and reach out to their Facebook followers to talk about, you know, this day's coming up, don't miss this day. It's more important for those members of our nonprofit community that don't have giving platforms. And that was really where this all started. For the Community Foundation to step forward and say, well, wait a minute, you know, we need to help you all raise some money. How can we do that? Well, we can certainly grant you some money, but you can't live off the grant. We can certainly offer you mentorship and leadership and guidance and fundraising, but we can also now step it up a little bit and, you know, provide this platform that everyone can participate in and be able to get money right in the bank like magic.
Right. So let's kind of wrap it all up and tie it all together. We'll come back again in a few weeks and we'll talk to the public about the event. But this one's really focused on getting nonprofits signed up. So give us our deadlines and,
Alrighty.
let's do it type of speech.
All right. Well, I'm really excited. I would love if everyone would participate. Our deadline is April 1st. So please sign up at www.greaterhelenagives.org. And excited to work with you.
Okay. I think we can wrap it up on that. Thanks for being on the show today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in. If you're with a nonprofit, you know a nonprofit, you're on a nonprofit board, which any of those could happen in Helena, go to greaterhelenagives.org and think about being a part of this. Have a good evening.